Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I hope you're staying safe. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. Guys, I really appreciate it if you smash that like button. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get as many likes on the video as possible. I really appreciate the support. So make sure to smash the like button. The more you smash the like button, the more the videos get out, the better for the channel, the more viewership. So yeah, please smash the like button, leave the comments in the comment section, let me know your opinions about the topic that I'm going to talk about. So guys, Tyson Fury says that Deontay Wilder would knock AJ out in 3 rounds. AJ's a bum and Wilder will knock him out in 3 rounds. That's a great fight, by the way. That's a fight that I've always wanted to see, and I'm actually, even though I want to see AJ Fury, I just think that the sport needs Wilder Joshua. I really, really hope that Wilder and Joshua, before they end their career, and I'm not certain if they will fight, but I really hope that before they end their career that both of those two fight each other, because I just think it's a dynamite fight. I think it's a fight which will capture the imagination of the public. Here's the thing though, here's the problem that I have now. I think they didn't strike while the iron was hot. When the fight should have been made, it wasn't made. And I think they damaged that fight in the sense because they've both got losses. And that fight was a monster fight. That was a huge fight. And what made that fight great and what made that fight so good was the explosiveness of it, because that fight weren't going to go 12 rounds. They both have serious power, and one of them was going to knock the other spark out. And unfortunately, the fight, in my opinion, may never happen. And even if it does happen, I still think it will be massive. I still think it will sell out Wembley. But it's not as big as what it was, because before it would have been for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And both AJ and Wilder will probably be looking at it, especially Wilder could be looking at it and think maybe I should have taken that opportunity, because he got offered 100 million to fight AJ and he turned that down. You know, he turned that down. And that was, when you think about it, Wilder's done very well for himself. He's very comfortable. He's made a shed load of money. So it's not like he's financially needy at this point. He's made a lot of money. But he must be regretting the fact that for his heavyweight legacy, there was a good chance of Deontay Wilder becoming undisputed. I always favored Deontay Wilder to beat Anthony Joshua. And I stick by that. And I've been saying this even when Anthony Joshua was undefeated. I know now it's a lot easier people to say, oh, well, Wilder's going to knock Joshua out. You know, Joshua's chinny. I was saying it from the day dot. And I'm sticking with my opinion. I think if Wilder and Joshua fight, I think he beats Joshua. I think he knocks him out. Some people may say otherwise. Some people may say Joshua is a good boxer. I do think Joshua is a better boxer. I think Joshua's got better skills. I just don't think Joshua's good. I think as soon as Wilder hits him, and Wilder will hit him with that right hand, it's inevitable. If Fury got hit with it, Joshua's going to get hit with it. The difference is Joshua's not going to get up. I don't think many fighters in the heavyweight division get up from that right hand. Or I don't think there's any fighters in the heavyweight division that evade that right hand. Maybe Usyk. So it's very, very disappointing to me that, you know, that fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua hasn't happened. And I think Wilder will be kicking himself. Because if Wilder had taken that fight, his legacy could have been something completely different. You imagine if he had beaten AJ, which I believe he would have. Some people may disagree. I believe he would have beaten Anthony Joshua. His legacy would have been much different to what it is now. So he hurt his legacy, not financially, because financially he's laughing Wilder, but he hurt his legacy from a point of view where he could have been an undisputed heavyweight champion, and for whatever reason he didn't take that opportunity. So he's hurt his legacy, because he would have made more money than what he made, and he would have also had an opportunity to become an undisputed heavyweight champion, which, like I said, I think he would have done, because I think he would have beaten AJ. Now he's in a position where even for him to become champion again is not going to be easy. So Deontay Wilder definitely, in my opinion, must be looking back at and thinking that was a mistake. He may not, because, like I said, he's comfortable. When you're comfortable and you made a lot of money, sometimes you don't really look at those things because you think, I'm rich anyway. I've made a shed load of money. I've done well for myself. From where I started, look where I've got to. You know, I started boxing late and I'm a multi-millionaire. You know, I'm a big name. I've done well for myself. But if he had put the ego to one side, made the AJ fight, it could have been a completely different situation for him. I still think he would have lost to Tyson Fury eventually, but people would have, like, his legacy would have been a lot greater than what it is now. Because now people say, who has Wilder really beat? He beat an old Ortiz. He got beat by Fury. You know, even though he was competitive in all three of those, like, especially two of those out of those three fights, he was very competitive and almost won. But the point is, he lost. And I believe if he had fought AJ, he would have had a win. And that would have changed his legacy completely. So for me, look, I do favour Wilder to knock Joshua out. Maybe even in 2 rounds. If Wilder lands early in the fight, he could wipe AJ out right away. But one of them's going to get wiped out. Either Wilder's going to get wiped out in that fight, or AJ's going to get wiped out in the fight. And that's what made the clash of styles beautiful. That's what made that fight so exciting and interesting and intriguing. I remember Stephen A. Smith talking about that fight, and he goes, that's the fight we want to see, because both those guys have concussive knockout power, and somebody's going to get knocked out in that fight. Fury now, to be fair to him, has definitely become a fighter who has become more aggressive, and he's more dangerous as well. But I still don't think Fury's got concussive power like AJ and Wilder. I think those guys hit harder, way harder. So I personally think that that fight between Wilder and AJ is a fight that must happen. I think stylistically, it's a beautiful fight. But probably one that we may never get. And that's just bad for boxing. It's bad for boxing that a fight of that magnitude, a fight that could have been, should have been, in my opinion, probably the biggest fight in world boxing, didn't happen. And I believe that fight would have been massive because it was an American via Brit. There was rivalry, there was beef. There was also the styles that made it a great fight. And unfortunately, both guys are not the fighters, in the sense that the credibility point of view, both guys are not viewed the same now. Because AJ's taken a couple of losses, Wilder's taken a couple of losses. And the fight is just not, we don't know whether both fighters are mentally the same fighters. Have they been affected? We don't know. We don't know. So it's sad, really. Sad that, you know, we didn't get a massive fight. We didn't get a big fight. It's disappointing. It's disappointing that, you know, the fans were robbed, in my opinion, of a great fight, because those two were epic fights that should have happened. They would have been fights where fans would have been entertained. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, Wilder didn't take the fight. You know, Wilder, in my opinion, you know, he admitted that he was offered more money with AJ, but he didn't take the fight. Disappointing, very disappointing, because I'm not sure that fight will ever happen now, if I'm brutally honest. Because I think if AJ was to lose to Usyk again, what's his desire going to be? I don't know. Look, Wilder's almost become irrelevant at this point. So if he's going to come back, I think he might have, I think if AJ loses to Usyk, I don't know what desire he's going to have, because then he's going to have to play second fiddle. And when you've made all that money and you were the star from the start of your boxing career, and all of a sudden your boxing career falls away like maybe AJ's is at this point, I don't know whether he'll have the hunger or desire. Like, he is a guy that lives and breathes boxing. And that's even worse, in the sense that if he lives and breathes boxing, if he loses to Usyk again, he may think, I'm not the best. So do I really want to be in this sport not to be the best? And I live and breathe and dedicate myself. Like, it'll take stubbornness and a lot of mental strength for AJ to come back from another defeat against Usyk and get back to the top. It's going to take a lot, because Usyk may reign for a very long time. And if he loses again to Usyk, I think that will be clear that he can't beat Alexander Usyk. So then it comes down to, how do we get Fury? Like, Fury may fight Usyk. If Fury wins, then they may get it on Joshua, because he may fight Joshua as a voluntary defense. Maybe in the meantime, maybe Joshua fights Wilder. That'll still be a big fight, but will that fight really happen between Joshua and Wilder if there's no belt or nothing on the line? There's no meaning to the fight, because at the end of the day, the fight doesn't hold the same kind of prestige. It'll still be a big fight. Look, Khan and Brooks still a massive fight, and that's got nothing on the line. It's just grudge. Wilder and Joshua have got a history, so like, I don't think those guys hate each other though. Like Khan and Brooks different because they generally don't like each other. With Joshua and Wilder, I don't think they hate each other, to be honest. I just think it was the fact that, you know, Wilder, the fight wasn't happening and they were just talking about each other, oh, back and forth. It was coming back and forth, but really there's no real beef there, is there? But again, it's a dynamic fight. It's a dynamite fight. But again, I don't feel we're going to get the best versions of those two guys because, like I said, Joshua's battling some demons that he's got going off in his head. You know, he's not the same fighter he was earlier on in his career. Wilder's just had 3 horrible fights, very tough fights, or 2 especially very tough fights. Is he the same fighter? Is he mentally changed? Is he more soft now? You know, have those fights taken a lot out of him? He's become more soft. Maybe his chin has diminished. Maybe he hasn't got the hunger anymore. We just don't know. So we don't know whether both fights are damaged goods. Both fighters are past their sell-by date. We just don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to have to see them Wilder fight. We're going to have to see how AJ looks against Usyk, because AJ's still got it in his own hands. If he beat Usyk, then, you know, he's back in the picture. But I can't see him beating Usyk. Usyk's not Andy Ruiz. You know, Usyk is going to be very disciplined. He lives and breathes the sport. And I just don't think Usyk is going to go off the rails. And I think Usyk will beat Anthony Joshua. And I personally think he'll do it a lot more comfortably next time. And people think otherwise, but I just don't see him beating Usyk. I didn't think he'd beat Usyk the first time. So I definitely don't think now that he's beaten Joshua, the confidence that Usyk's going to be coming in with, you know, the rematch, I can't see him winning that one. And to be honest with you, Wilder's a more 50-50 at this point, because you don't know what either guy's got left. But I would favour Wilder by knockout, especially the way AJ's been fighting, because I just think AJ will be so cautious in that fight because he knows Wilder's got serious power. Like Usyk hasn't got that kind of power. Wilder's got the kind of power. If he hits you, you're out. You're out. And AJ will be, if Wilder, you know, hits AJ will stay hit. Whereas I still think that Wilder's able to absorb AJ's shots more than what AJ will be able to absorb with Wilder, because Wilder has the kind of power, not just with AJ, but with anyone. If he hits you clean, he's wiping you out. I don't think AJ has that kind of power. I think Wilder would be able to absorb shots from AJ. Well, most fighters do, right? Brazil took a lot of shots. Povetkin took quite a few shots. Pulev took quite a few shots. Pulev made it to 10 rounds. You know, Parker went the distance. Usyk went the distance. You know, a lot of guys now have taken AJ's power. You know, Dylan White had a good scrap with him, went about 7-8 rounds. So when you think about it, you know, he's not a knockout artist like Wilder. Wilder's not a great boxer, as good a boxer as AJ. But when Wilder hits you, you're out. And he's done that with actually everyone. But Wilder's getting outboxed, and then he hits you with one shot and he changes the complexion of the fight. I don't think AJ has that kind of power, personally. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Wilder would knock AJ out in 3 rounds? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.